listeners who it was.
You'll remember.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. We have a full board
Very nice.
with the addition of Mr. Robert Reed and
And the return.
First off, if there's anyone recording, would they please make it known? Thank you. First item is an invoice from Charles Rowley, which I have in front of me for Walmart site inspections. It's a little dated. I don't know where it disappeared, but I'll check into that. After that is the, which we just spoke on, the October Planning Board meeting will be tonight, which is not our usual night. And Monday, October 20th will be, which is also an off night because of town meeting. This week because of Columbus Day and the 20th because of town meeting. And next up is a discussion on Best Friends Preschool.
Good evening, gentlemen. As we left off, I spoke with the lighting company. They advised me that those lights we have are upgraded light, so we have the option to change the bulbs in them to give us the watts we need to cover the darkness in the middle of the parking lot. So that'll be the option we have. And the light illumination will be made in 1 month. That's how busy the guy is. John Churchill will have it, and then I'll give you a copy of it.
And I spoke to Dave Moore
Yeah.
the other day, and he said he was gonna give you a 30-day extension
Mm-hmm.
on the other stuff.
But also, he wanted me to ask to see if there's any way that, he said that I'm in reasonable compliance, and except for the lighting, if there's any way that you guys would give me relief from what you're asking about the lights. But, you know, if it doesn't cost a lot of money, then I don't have a problem replacing the bulbs.
So, what are you looking at relief from?
I would like to just, you know, get some kind of relief from the planning board, because I am in reasonable compliance. I am not open at night. I'm open during the day until 6 o'clock. I don't have things going on at night that you know, people would be parking there.
The lights are on here,
Yes.
They were on here when we left last Monday. You gonna put them on a timer?
Yeah,
They're
they're
on
on
the
time.
timer.
I was just
With your
waiting
neighbors.
to talk to you guys before we actually
Yeah.
changed it, to make sure everybody's on the same page.
So if everyone would agree with that, I would be grateful to that.
right? Well, he hasn't, was that the only thing left on the, other
That's
than the
all there
landscaping
is.
that you had?
And the
Yeah.
landscaping will be
Yeah.
done.
2 items, the lighting, we needed the engineer to update his plan, which he hadn't done yet.
Yeah, it will
And-
take
and
1
we-
month. The guy's so busy, he
Yeah.
can't just do the one
Yeah.
page. If it was a whole complete
Yeah.
construction job, he
And the
could.
sign was not on the set of plans.
The sign, I was told that I have to go to the appeals board for that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it must not have met the new bylaw.
The new bylaw. Mhm.
And you did read the new bylaw for the signs?
Yeah, she's a little, she's a couple feet over, so she has to downsize it.
So what was the question, Mr. Chairman, with the lights? Was it like
I guess basically they moved the lights from the interior of the parking lot to the perimeter, and now it's kind of lighting up the neighbor's yard, so. they were
No,
gonna
neighbor's
do-
yard, just the middle of the
No,
parking lot's got a
the middle.
shadow.
And
Dark spots.
Just had a dark
Yeah,
spot in the
no.
middle of the parking
Photo-
lot.
The photometrics wasn't updated.
About 12 feet of parking lot has got a shadow.
that's
We
where
have-
that's where I was heading.
We have no engineering plan
There's no
showing
engineering
that
plan on
it
the
meets code yet.
Okay, so the two things that for the many years zoning, and I know you on planning, but, who was the guy, Terrell, made him put a shield on the back of the light so it didn't shine to the neighbor. That put that one to bed.
Okay.
As far as the lumens and all.
The problem, the problem now is the engineering plan that they have shows the lighting schematics based on the poles being in the parking lot, but they moved them out of the parking lot.
And
We'll
that's
have a new one for you in 30
what-
days.
And that's
Yeah.
what Churchill says he'll have in 30 days.
30 days. The gentleman just can't make a single page. $3,000.
That sounds about right.
Well, it's updating the whole plan set.
Yes,
right? So you basically have an as-built when you're done.
Okay.
correct.
The only other issue was landscaping, but I think
They have till next year.
you have till this,
Landscape.
Yeah, 1
next
year.
summer, so, but
Mhm.
we haven't seen the final plans yet, so to, sign off on that before you see those might be,
Well, if he's gonna have it done, you've got the extension, so what do you, I'm lost here.
No, we won't have the landscaping done this season.
No, I mean, as far as your as-built plans and you say you'll have that within the month.
No, the lighting guy just has to, that's a separate guy. He
Yeah, that's
just-
an
all he
electrical
does.
engineer.
Yeah, he's an electrical engineer. It's nothing to do with the as-built. He's a separate guy, $3,000 just to make that new illumination, which is being made. And with your request, I'll put the new bulbs in, it will fill in the void you're looking for. And that should take care of everything.
Okay, so,
We're just looking to move forward now with no more extensions, and we guarantee you everything will be taken care of. I'll get you 30 days, I'll have the blueprints made and brought a copy to you. Instead of coming back every week.
well, you don't have to come back every week when you get the stuff done, you come in and,
Michael enjoys coming here, so.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And I'll shut the lights off early, save me some electricity.
so you want the temporary change to a regular
Compliance.
CO, is that what I'm hearing, or?
Just give us 30 days to update the plans, and then, we'll turn the plans into you within 30 days from the electrical engineer, and change the lighting on the bulb, on the light poles.
I guess that's where I'm confused, because you do have
I'm
to,
confused myself. You're telling me, you want us to shut the lights off early, but you want us to
yeah,
put brighter bulbs. It
yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Well,
We're
Well,
not,
that's
we're
what I'm
not
saying.
open at night.
I
Yeah.
close at 6 o'clock, and the lights are on till 10 o'clock every night. There's no reason for them to be on till 10 o'clock. You want me to put more lights, but,
We don't need the lights on at night. It just draws people in there to wanna park, and we already had to throw a few people out and have the cops come.
and then I'm spending another $3,000 on plans, but your request, you're, asking me to shut the lights off, and it just doesn't make any sense.
well, it does in essence, not to belabor the point. I remember this case coming way back when you first started permitting it, because I know there was a question of you were gonna build a construction business up back or something like
No,
that.
no, just a garage
Garage
for
or something.
maintenance,
Mhm.
maintenance
So I remember
building.
some of the details
Yeah.
from months ago. But the point being is if you ever go down there and you want an open house and you want to function and you have to put the lights on at night,
Yeah.
it goes back to the original drawing that came in. So
Mhm.
now that you've relocated some lights,
Yeah, but, excuse me, we have about 24 lights on one side of the building. You gotta come down and see this thing. It's like overkill.
yeah, I didn't draw it though. did
Yeah, I know, I didn't either. I wish I really paid attention when they did draw it, because if
Well,
you see how many lights on that thing, you could light it, but it look like an airport.
well, I was more concerned with the photometrics on the perimeter, because
and how do you handle the sign, Mr. Chairman, where that has to go before the zoning board now for approval, where it was supposed to be part of the original engineering drawings? They can't really do that.
well, they will get a letter of denial from the inspection department, and have to go, they won't be able to pull a permit for the sign, they'll get a denial. And they'll have to go before the Board of Appeals to get the sign approved.
And how long might that take?
I don't know, are you on the, have you got your denial yet or anything?
No, not yet.
No, because I thought we were gonna be able to, fix it in this, with you guys, but now they're saying that you guys have nothing to do with that, the planning board has nothing to do with it, it's the Board of Appeals.
Is it already made, of course?
No, the sign?
Yeah.
Well, I have the
Yes, the
dimensions,
sign is-
yeah.
Well, if you can shrink it down to within what the bylaw covers, then you can,
Just include it on your engineering plan and wrap it up with your lights.
Okay.
If you change the design of the sign so that it meets the new
Mhm.
sign bylaw, you could
But I
ask.
think, the new laws, I think it's 100 square feet for the sign, and they're gonna include the sign that's on the building.
Mhm.
And because it's two-sided, they're gonna include both sides. I mean, by the time you're done, at the end of the day, it's gonna be on an 8.5
doesn't
by
include
11.
both sides.
Just one side.
Just one side?
It's one side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're drastically over, is it total or is it on the new bylaw? It used to be total signage, but I didn't think of the new bylaw it was.
It depends on how they classify the two sides.
No, I mean the building as opposed to the monument.
The monument, I think, was 120,
Hmm.
if I remember right.
I think we looked that up.
But basically the sign that's gonna be like a two-sided sign, if it's the same on both sides, it really counts that way.
But under the new bylaw, is it total area, both signs combined, or is it? I thought they were treated separately under the,
Let me go look up for
the old bylaw, they were total. In fact, one inspector tried to include handicap signs as part of the calculation.
I was just thinking if you could meet the new code, you could have JC Engineering put the sign on the plan,
With
show the new
lighting.
illumination,
Mhm.
and be done.
Do I have to come back?
I don't make
I
that
feel like
choice.
I'm gonna retire here.
I'm gonna join the board.
Could we do have an associate position? We're very optimistic, I think we can decipher that.
I was gonna say, I think we looked at it last time.
it. It's been so long since I've done it. Page 61.
Why is it going to Board of Appeals for the sign?
Because it exceeds the,
Is it exceeds 120?
It could also, we also had questions about, the new sign bylaw has something to do with how close to the ground level that has to be as opposed to the pedestals that hold it in place.
Right,
And I think maybe the building inspector has to review that as well now, so that it meets,
I thought it was 3 feet.
well, it's much less now.
Oh, it's 24 inches now.
Yeah, much
That's
less,
low.
right? Yeah,
Yes, low.
yeah, low.
We had to lower it for
The new
obstruction
sign-
of looking towards the highway,
Yeah,
doesn't obstruct you.
yeah, the new sign bylaw is tighter.
and certainly not gonna look under it.
It's not.
I mean, when you're coming out the driveway, you can't.
So are you in the building?
Yes, we're fully functioned.
Mhm.
We have 75 students.
All right, so that's a plus. So lighting
Sign,
and sign, which could wind up being zoning and,
landscaping is open till the spring.
okay, so that's, and so.
But if
so-
I'm hearing you correctly, you're looking for relief on the photometrics plan, is
Yes.
that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
We're looking for relief on everything, and I give you my word, I'll give you the plans with the sign and the lights changed, and have the building inspector check, make sure the sign is right.
The signs are under the building's, director of inspection
Inspection
services and the ZBA.
Yeah.
Period.
No.
Any new sign being erected, et cetera, that's how it goes. It's,
So we
The
got
director-
nothing to do with it.
no, director of inspection services, if it meets the sign bylaw, they sign off, they're done. If there's anything that doesn't meet it, then it has to be referred to.
Yeah,
the
there's no,
ZBA.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
that-
electricity
But
on the sign.
what I was wondering is, the the sign calculation, is it total signage, or is it
Trying to see if I can find it, George.
X amount for the monument and X amount for the building?
It just says freestanding signs, total outward surface is 120 for a shopping mall, shopping center, commercial and other industrial is 100, so they're probably 100. I don't think it's considered institutional, because institutional is
well-
only 18.
So it's 100 total?
I believe it says it's 100 for a freestanding sign.
10
Side
by
of the
10 is
building is
pretty-
probably
that's-
separate.
That's a pretty big sign.
That's a big sign.
Yeah.
10 by 10, are you bigger than that?
No.
No,
No,
her
if
sign's
you see the
much-
sign right in our folder, I believe it's still
The
there.
sign's much smaller than that. So,
No, the one, the main folder, record folder.
Does it say total signage is 100? No?
No, it just says basically a freestanding sign
So if I keep it 100, I should be
is
within
basically
the
100.
record.
should be.
Trying to see if there's
That's
anything
not
else
the
there.
building
They would talk
inspector
about certain things you have to add
He
together,
said,
Oh, I don't have nothing to worry, so
but I
just
don't
go
think it
on.
was in that piece.
Call the building
I would
inspector.
have
Yeah,
that
we're gonna have-
discussion,
she
have that
already did,
discussion
and
with
we'll-
Dave and
yes.
say, if it's a total, your building sign and
And the
the
front sign.
monument sign, it's
Mhm.
gonna change drastically.
Okay.
If it's,
well, I went to the building inspector, he said it would be the building sign, and then if you have one on each side, both sides count, that's why I said,
no,
but I'll go
if
to
it's
the,
back to back, it's not supposed to.
mhm.
Okay.
Right.
I'll check with the building commissioner instead.
When a sign has two or more faces, the area of all faces shall be included in determining the area, except where two sides are faced back to back.
Right.
Which is what you have, and no more than
Those
2
And
feet
they're
apart. So
and they're
otherwise,
identical.
the spread is no more than
Yeah.
2 feet inside.
Well, it's 12 inches.
That's what I've got. I don't remember, there's a thing on buildings, I can find it, but I don't think the buildings were included with a freestanding sign.
I don't think the what?
I don't believe the building sign was included with the total for the freestanding. The
Mhm.
building signs have to do with windows and stuff on the building itself versus the square footage going across the building. That's where the regulation came in.
See, it used to be
Hmm.
all together.
I don't
So-
think it is anymore.
Okay.
Well, that's what I thought the change was, that's why.
Well, but
I'm
that's
trying
why-
to figure
so
out
that's
if you.
why you changed the.
Yeah, I
The
understand.
best thing to do is have the
Keep it at a-
conversation with him.
And keep it
If
at 100
shrinking-
feet.
If shrinking your monument sign a little bit gets
Yes.
you to where you just need a building permit,
Mhm.
then that'll save you from having to
Yeah.
go through the
Okay.
hearing process.
Yeah, it affects also off-premises signs. Counted, but this isn't an
I
off-premises.
mean, those little
sign.
lawn signs that get stuck in.
All those little good things, yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
See him all over town.
Call them up.
We'll go to all and see him.
And no, I don't do seal coating.
That's
This
my
is-
son. Jojo.
Is it funny? Yeah, sure.
That's all I got.
Thoughts on the lighting?
I would like to see the engineering plan showing that the entire parking lot's illuminated, especially where it's a school. And I know you close early, but
Hmm.
at 6 o'clock, it's dark in the winter, and
Yeah. I mean, I could put spotlights on
Yeah.
every pole out there
Yeah.
and light it up like a football field.
No,
We all
I
know
mean,
that.
like I said, I think, I don't have a problem with you move the lights, other than you
Yeah.
didn't ask in advance.
Yeah, that was my fault.
But
Forgive
I
me for
think that I would wanna make sure
That
that
was
the
for safety.
illumination covers the entire parking lot.
Any other thoughts?
In winter, 4:30, be dark out.
Yeah, I'll be plowing out there, I know.
Picking up kids.
He's gonna have it ready for you in a month, just be done with it, do it
Yeah.
right. wipe
Oh,
the
yeah,
edges
no,
of
I
it.
know. We're not here to play any games. We built a beautiful school there. We're not about to kind of cut corners. It's all about safety when it comes to children.
No, what did he give you? He gave you 30 days from what date?
I have to write a letter to him requesting 30 days,
Oh,
yeah.
so what
So
was
from, I think it's the
24th?
24th, yeah, or the 25th.
The 4th of the Thursday.
No, it was the 28th.
Monday.
What happened to the flagpole?
We moved it off over behind the handicap parking. It's not installed yet, we gotta order one.
Yeah, you see, Mike Dykes doesn't want it in the,
He didn't,
It
he didn't
was
want
the
any
island
island.
per se,
Yeah.
John, they moved an island, we worked with them to remove an island, so.
So the fire truck could make the turn.
So it's removal of islands.
All new signs are separate.
Lights. Did we change the traffic pattern, or was that the original?
That was just.
It's back to the original. It's painted the right way now.
I'm just trying to think, we took parking spaces from one side and put them on the other, so that,
They're back to where they're supposed to be now. It was just the paint was wrong, that's all.
oh, so they're back
But
to,
the-
as they were on the plan?
But the parking plan, you were having it updated by JC
Yeah,
Engineering.
he updated, the guy when he painted it, took the spots out, that's why we were counting on those
Because you had to move
spots.
some parking spaces around.
Spots and arrows
Hmm.
backwards.
So remove the island. Move the lights. Any other changes that you can?
I don't think so. Parking spaces, the lighting, the sign, but does that mean, Mr. Chairman, that the sign doesn't have to be on the engineered plan now?
does not.
Okay, so we don't have to
They
think
can
about that.
submit it as a separate
Yep.
document,
That's good.
and if they,
I
if
can
the sign
have, I can have them
complies,
show location.
if the sign complies with the
Bless you.
code, they can do it with just a building permit. If it doesn't, then it's a trip to the Board of Appeals.
Will it be the same permitters as we built the building?
No,
No, it has to be a
that,
separate
that's
one.
the thing, so you can show the sign on your drawing,
Yeah,
but you still gotta get a permit for the sign,
okay,
which is the building department. And if it fits, he'll give it to you, if it doesn't, you go to zoning.
okay.
And if you think we're bad,
Which is always a thrill.
And then, landscaping, we don't have to even think about right now until spring, correct?
If your landscape architect has got something, then you wanna get that, you can submit that, get on the agenda and submit it, and you can have it ready to go for you in spring.
I just can't afford to keep doing all these engineer plans and, you know, I feel like I'm just doing them over and over again.
Hmm. You know why, right? Because you made changes. That had nothing to do with us, we approved your plans. So you're here because you made changes,
Change
Well,
those
the
two
landscaping gives you a year, so we should be
so.
well all set.
the building inspector gave you on your CO will probably expire before you can get those plans done, from what I'm hearing, so. Well,
Make it 60 days. You get plenty of time, right?
yeah, we can deal with that. I mean, Dave seems amenable to, all I gotta do is tell him we're okay with it. All right,
So if I get them before the 60 days, can I just be put in on the agenda to see you?
well, you can just,
Drop them off, you don't have to come and see us
You know,
unless you want.
if they're done, he can give you the
That's what we'll do. If they come in before the time, we'll drop them off.
I don't know.
I don't know if he would give you because you still have the outstanding on the landscaping, so.
Right.
I don't know if he'd give you a permanent or not, he would just kick the landscaping to, what, June 1st?
Yeah. You don't want to be planting after
We'll give her a
June 1st.
temporary until then.
Well, he said he didn't, the landscape.
Yeah, no problem with these.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to get this wrapped up for the bank, you know.
Yeah.
Your grass came in good.
Thank you. By hand.
It came in quick.
I think Denise, I told you guys, I got good loom there if you need any, off the record. All set?
Guess we're all
you.
set.
Have a good night, gentlemen. Take care.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure they take you out for coffee too.
Oh, they'll take me out to dinner.
That's even better. See you later. Sorry. That wasn't us.
Let me get back to where it was here. A&R, 96 Realty LLC, I've got some plans here. What do we got?
Squirrel Island.
Part of the Three Island Tour, isn't it?
Good evening, board members. Paul Meadows from GAF Engineering. On behalf of the owner, 96 Realty LLC, we're here before you for an A&R plan for the creation of 2 lots, a parcel A, and then the remaining land. The property can be identified on map 74 as lot 1009. We're creating a lot on Blackmore Pond Road, which is identified on the plan as lot 1009-8. It's going to have a total of 9.4 acres of land, of which 2.97 acres will be upland. It has over 880 feet of frontage on Blackmore Pond Road. Lot 1009-9 would have frontage on Squirrel Island Road, and that lot is just over 3 acres, and it has 2.5 acres of upland. Parcel A is the remaining land that's shown to the north of Squirrel Island Road, which is a little triangle piece there, just over 31,000 square feet. And then, of course, the remaining land with frontage on Squirrel Island Road, over 360 feet of frontage, would be the remaining land, which has 11.6 acres of land, and of which will be 8.7 acres of upland. The wetland line has been approved by Conservation Commission. If the board has any questions, feel free to answer them.
Aren't you essentially landlocking lot 1009?
No, 1009 has frontage on Squirrel Island Road. That's over 380 feet of frontage, or 360.
Does it have rights to Squirrel Island Road?
Yes.
Yeah, the road goes right into the land. Where does that go past there? Is it dead end?
No, it continues going down to the bogs and stuff like that.
Just goes to, so that's dirt.
Yes, it's a gravel road, yeah.
It goes to the subdivision in Whitehead Sand Pit.
So if,
What's the width on Squirrel Island when it gets down here? I went on
The actual road or the actual road itself or the layout?
the road itself,
The road itself is about 20 feet wide.
with gravel.
Yes.
What is the layout of that road?
There is really no defined layout road of Squirrel Island Road. It's just on different plans. It's been created a layout. The original layout was created by Alpha Engineering when they did all those lots for Mr. Perry on the, I guess, northwest side of Squirrel Island Road. And then when we got involved with 96 LLC, we created the layout from Faring Hill Road and tied in to the layout of the Squirrel Island Road that was created by Alpha.
So can I ask a question, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Just on the 1009-9.
Yep.
I see up in the corner there, Veronica Alcalazi, your lot cuts up in there so you can get your 180 feet of frontage there. Is there a house there for that woman?
Yes. That was one of the original lots that were created back in 2009, I believe it was.
Okay, well, I'm just noticing now the new lot line kind of cuts in front of that. Just out of curiosity, what does it do for the frontage of that lot? Does it?
We're not interfering with her lot. Her lot was created again, like in 2009, and those lot lines were defined in 2009, and we're not changing those lines.
Okay, all right, so this isn't a new, 1009-9 is not a new lot you're developing, those lot lines were already there?
The lot line between 1009-9 and 1009-2 isn't an existing lot line that was already there, and that was established in 2009.
Okay, all right. I'm only asking, sir, because I see the dark line, I
Yep.
thought you were moving it, just asking. No, that's fine. What happens to parcel A that? is that-
Parcel A is just a little triangle piece that has frontage on Faring Hill Road and Squirrel Island Road. It's not a buildable lot
It's
because
not.
it doesn't have enough area.
What is it down there, is it 3 acres?
No, 60,000 square feet.
60,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
180 feet of frontage and 60,000 square feet.
Wasn't there a road on parcel A that cuts across here also, goes to Faring Hill?
There is kind of a grass path that goes through there, but it's not, I don't know if that was the original Squirrel Island Road and this got changed after the fact. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm trying to think, going back when Bob Perry did all that subdivision of his property there. Something came up about that gravel road, that one that cuts across, you know, that goes to the left. If you're going out towards Faring Hill Road, it bears to the left. Well, as you're calling it, that grassy,
Yeah, if you're coming down Faring Hill Road, it's kind of a tree clearing that goes across parcel A.
right, but there is a road that goes through there, because that came up when Bob Perry did a subdivision in there.
There's a right of way easement marked right on the map.
That's right.
If you look at it, it's got ROW easement for Squirrel Island Road.
Yeah.
On parcel A. We went down there when, I think, Nazi did the,
Najee did the house across the street.
yeah, did we do some, who did the lots here that opened up?
Gotta use the mic, Alan.
Sorry. I remember that, we had 3 lots, I think, over here, 3 or 4 years ago.
That's the one that's at the intersection of Blackmore, Faring, and Squirrel. Yeah, that's the plan that we created.
I remember that. That was brought up on parcel A night before.
But there was a road that went across on parcel A that veered to the left. that
Yes.
went across, as you're calling it, a grassy swale or whatever.
Grassy road right now, grassy road, tree clearing, it's,
But it was a gravel road, there was rights, somebody had rights on it or whatever. Because that came up with Bob Perry, did his subdivision also, on
Okay.
Squirrel Island Road. And the thing is, I'm looking at the print now, it doesn't even show it anymore.
Yeah, just makes note of the easement. It says right-of-way easement, as I said before. And you're right, I do remember that. Matter of fact, it mentions it down below underneath the Jackson property.
Yeah, that,
There's another easement there also.
okay.
Okay, because Squirrel Island Road, there was some controversy on that when the Russo they came in for
upon a ferry.
Ponce of Ferring Hill, right? Because Squirrel Island Road is one of the illegal right-of-ways in and out of there. And Bob Perry came in the 10th hour and made a point of it, because they said they were gonna come off County Road. But the thing is, they can't stop them from using that road, because they have rights to use that road back and forth.
But the pond at Ferry Hill will never come in off Square Line Road, everything was off County Road.
No, they have rights to go on Squirrel Island Road.
But I know, but we weren't proposing any access to it, I think we had like an emergency gated access that was gonna be used for the fire department or something like that.
Initially, but when they start doing demolition, they start using it, because I know Bob Perry came in, and things got pretty nasty for a while there, because of the use of that road, and they do have rights to use that road. If they wanna use it as a main road going in and out of there, they still can. They had some problems down where it got real narrow by the bog.
Mhm.
They didn't wanna deal with the wetland issues, but they do have rights, because I know they try to play, we don't really know, but it did come up in the 10th hour, and I know it became a real snowstorm on that road, on Squirrel Island Road.
I guess the question would be is if Squirrel Island Road is of sufficient width and grade to be called frontage at that point.
I don't know the road.
I haven't been up
Well,
there.
it's a pretty good gravel road.
And these are all built on,
Tractor
these
trail,
up.
yeah, tractor trailers for years, they went in and out of Whiteheads, that's how they went in and out of there for years, when they hauled sand out of there. And like I said, the place was closed for quite a while, they came in, they did the ponds of Ferring Hill, and they were gonna make the major access off of County Road, because they had some wetland issues around the bogs they didn't wanna deal with. But it was right after they got the approval, and they says, oh yeah, we do have rights, because Bob Perry, like I said, came in, and it got pretty nasty. Got pretty nasty, because they do have rights on that road
Okay.
to use that. We were concerned about, I think at one time also, the point was on Ferring Hill, because eventually that road's gonna get built out, and that road's gonna have to be improved. Bob Perry's concern was they like the gravel road, the countryness of it or whatever, but if people have rights to it, and the traffic increases, you're talking 40-something homes, that might become a everyday road going in and out of there.
Right.
That's the concern that we had. Alan, you was on the board when we went through that, and,
It was a long discussion.
yeah, a long discussion.
Are any of these roads paved, Blackmore or?
Yes.
Blackmore and Ferring Hills,
Ferring Hill.
Ferring Hills, yes, yeah.
And I believe those are recently paved, because they just did water work down on Blackmore Pond Road, and that, I believe is all new asphalt there.
Repaved.
Yeah, repaved.
Because the person that owned the majority of the land on Blackmore before, they didn't wanna pave it because they didn't wanna go through all kind of junk, but since then, things have changed. A lot of new houses up there in the last 4 years, last year,
Yeah,
a lot
Have
more.
you been out there recently?
I was out there today.
there's 5 new houses on
You
Blackmore Pond Road.
Consider that suitable access for an additional house lot?
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's a problem.
Squirrel Island Road.
Squirrel Island Road, there's no problem for 2 more house lots, but the thing is,
Well, it's one more.
well, 2,
One already exists.
2. But they're creating 2 lots. The thing
Yeah,
is,
but the other access is off Blackmore Pond.
no.
But
1009-9 and 1009 are both off of Squirrel Island Road.
Correct.
Yeah, but you already have one, and now you're splitting it into 2.
Right, the
So you're
thing
adding an
is,
additional house to,
as a Form A, 10,009 can be subdivided, because they have adequate frontage.
Correct.
As a Form A, we can't say no further subdivision in perpetuity, because it's a Form A. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Somebody's gonna buy that, and all of a sudden it's gonna get cut up in another 5 lots.
Right.
Which one?
The last lot down there on Squirrel Island Road.
1,000.
Well, you don't have enough frontage for 5 lots. You only have enough frontage to split that in half and have 2 lots. There's 360 feet of frontage. Not that they can't come in here and create a cul-de-sac and do
I
a
see.
couple lots, but
389. That's what it says in the print here, anyway.
Yeah, but that's not the frontage.
that's not the frontage on Squirrel Island Road.
I was looking at it, it's about,
It's just over 360.
yeah.
Why isn't that shown on the plan? Shouldn't that be delineated, the frontage?
It would have been nice.
Well, I
Shouldn't
guess,
shouldn't that be shown, if that's one of the figures that we have to consider?
Well, it's under the rule of assumption.
Yeah, well, you know what happened last time. It didn't work out so great.
well, but if you're saying 360, and you could divide it and make 2 lots, we're already heading that way. I guess my question is maybe perhaps where the chairman just went, is that road adequate to start adding more houses on? Now, I've been down Squirrel Island Road different times, exactly whereabouts was I can't say, but it's a dirt road.
Gravel.
Well, it's a potholes and a
You're
turnaround.
you're from the city. Anything that doesn't have pavement is a dirt road.
Nah, I've been putting gravel roads in for a lot of years, and that's a dirt road. But I just wonder, is it adequate to add 3 more lots? You're showing 2 right here, but you're talking about splitting it already.
Well, the thing is, when you say that, is, I'll take it one step further, is, I think what I'm trying to get at is, we're piecemealing this gravel road, bang, 2 lots, 3 lots, 4 lots. It already goes to a 46 lot subdivision. And
I
there's a lot
thought
of
in that,
property in there.
I thought during that process that access was only gonna be for emergency only.
No.
And
They exercised that when they started doing demolition in there. And they were going down with the heavy equipment, coming in off Squirrel Island Road, while Perry put a stop to it. And then it became a bad situation. Because they said in black and white in their deed, they have rights for Squirrel Island Road. That's the access, major access to that property. No developer in the world is gonna give up their primary access or major access and go create it someplace else unless they have to, for economic
Well-
reasons.
I believe all the lots on the west side were all made off of Squirrel Island Road.
By Bob Perry's property.
Hmm?
Bob Perry's piece,
Yeah.
yes.
And again, is the remainder, is that end of the road of sufficient width and grade
Well,
to support another lot? It looks as though it is, from what you're telling me.
Mr. Chairman, is it possible, I don't know what our time period is, and we put this off to the next meeting, and people who wanna go take a look at it, can they do that?
No, we've done that before. I don't know when you submitted this.
Last week sometime, not sure the exact date, but.
Let's see if it was stamped in.
October 1st?
I think that's an excellent idea. We got 2
I have-
board members that are familiar with the property,
I've never seen it.
or the site and stuff around there. I think that's,
Yeah, I haven't been down there, Mike, in a year.
oh, you go down there, you're gonna be shocked.
It's been a lot longer for me.
And
I believe if it was the first, then we're good till the 20th, right? It's 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's our next meeting.
You wanna take a look at it? Are you all familiar where it is?
I have no idea.
Find it.
I have GPS.
We'll take this tomorrow.
No, we won't
we'll take the 55. We wanna go down there.
take anything that gets dirty.
I was gonna say, if you pave the road, you might have a sale.
Take the 4 feet.
What's a good day you get, you know, you guys can do a site visit? Saturday?
I'm around this weekend.
Really?
I'm around this weekend.
There
Mr.
you
Reed-
go.
Mr. Reed?
I'm around this weekend.
Hey, that's
All
3.
right. Who's bringing the beer?
What time?
Bring your 22s, a lot of squirrels up there.
Squirrel Island, we'll get it.
There's otters that live down further along. We can go
Turkeys.
into Whitehead Sand Pit, do some bass fishing.
What time you
Just
want?
be careful, I think deer season starts pretty soon, next week, I think.
Archery season.
Archery
starts.
season.
We're the big orange hat.
I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock? 8:30?
What, 8:30? Is that good for everybody?
You wanna meet
Meet at the Squirrel.
Where we
Squirrel
gonna,
Island and Ferry Hill?
we're gonna meet down the corner of Ferring Hill and Squirrel Island?
Sure.
Chairman brings coffee and donuts.
Is there room on parcel 8 for stallment?
Yeah, they get that grassy, grassy cut out there.
Now, do you need a representative from GAF there, or you're all set?
We're fine.
You're fine?
We should be good.
If we get lost, you won't see us on the 20th.
Enjoy yourself.
And tell Bill don't go archery hunting down there either.
I don't know if Bill bow hunts.
What's that?
I don't think he bow hunts.
So, Mr. Chairman,
I know he's gone before, I don't know if he, I know he goes more shotgun and stuff, but.
do we need to make any kind of motion to reschedule this for the 20th?
Motion to continue to the 20th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, have a nice night.
Thank you.
That's all I have on
What
the.
happens in these dirt roads is they get piecemeal. And when they form in, what really is terrible is you can't condition it.
Who maintains the roads? I
Uh,
mean, if they have 10 houses on that road, it's gonna get pretty beat up in the winter.
well,
months.
the base is pretty tough.
Yeah.
The base is pretty tough, but
But.
Where is it, by the way?
Ferring Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Just go down, if you go the back way of the mall.
Oh,
Keep going.
You know what a new stop sign is?
yeah,
You go through 2 stop signs.
okay, go
You
through
go
two.
up out under the bridge and you take a left,
Okay.
and like just going up there, and you'll see it when you get, it's a bad curve. Because we
In the same way as Jonathan Estates?
made comment on
No.
the last subdivision on Blackwell Pond Road. There was one house lot on the corner, and remember I said it shouldn't be a driveway on it, it should be on Squirrel Island Road.
We have a big issue about the driveway.
Because, when you come around, there's an island in the road, and when you come around, it's a blind corner, it's a
Yeah.
real bad corner.
Okay.
And
It's a high speed.
I grew
Is
up
it?
in this area, so you know it was there. But in the last 20 years, there's probably 50, 60 more houses in the area. I mean, the traffic is unbelievable in the area now. But,
Well, that's what's-
but this particular place here is not just this one site. As you go, it gets piecemeal as we go. When Bob Perry came in, the road was adequate for what he wanted to put in there. But with a Form A, you can't do nothing to condition, as you know, for the rest of the houses. And you can't put that in perpetuity on a Form A because you can't condition it. Because that 46 lot subdivision has rights in this road, and I guarantee you when, let me see, who's the youngest one here? No, it's not you, Alan, yeah, Mike, in Mike's lifetime.
That'd be me.
That road's gonna, at one time, somebody's gonna come, somebody's gonna move in there when that development gets done. We wanna shortcut to William Center, instead of going all the way around County Road and then all the way around. Because human nature is the shortest point between 2 points is from A to B.
So where am I meeting you Saturday, Mike? Go under the bridge, go up, it's on the left, right there?
Yeah.
Go under that bridge, go left on Ferring Hill, go down to Blackmore Pond, and then if you, Blackmore Pond Road takes left,
You
and
go,
there's a
you go
dirt
right
road
past
and an
Blackmore
angle.
Pond, there's a bad corner, you see it right there.
There's a sign that says Squirrel Island.
Yeah, no, I've been
Yes.
down there, Alan, it's at least a year since I've been
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
there.
it's
Yeah.
never changed.
Matter of fact, there's 2 of them houses, is Naz's ex-wife, is the second house.
Well, that's what when I noticed on the drawing there and I see the dark line, I was gonna say, you're cutting into that lot.
Yeah.
But he said that that had already been formed a year
Yeah.
ago, so
Well,
that's fine.
2009.
Yeah.
That's the,
And the thing is, that was all Papa John's property.
that's the
On
three
that
island
side.
tour I always promised my wife. Onset Island, Wickets Island, Squirrel Island.
Because they were gonna put, at one time, they were gonna put a cul-de-sac and road going in there to make like a subdivision, but there's a lot of wetland issues. And so they sat on it, so they started dicing it up, that Form A. And the thing is, they come back all the time. Every time they come back, it gets worse and worse. Before you know it, you got a full-blown subdivision on a gravel road, and the town, at our expense, we're building a tarred road. They just did Charlotte Furnace Road, by the way.
Yep.
They paved it, did a nice job. The town's been working on Saturdays with police detail that are useless. I'm coming one way with a trailer, boat's going the other way. The cops over there bullshitting with the town workers that are working, not paying attention to traffic. So every man for themselves. Huh?
Is that really happening?
What, we're adjourning? No,
That's the chairman.
George is on the phone.
2 large pizzas, 2 pitchers of beer, please.
We can go to Bob Perry's.
We're gonna get televised live.
No,
What?
No. no, never.
We're not on television.
We started already.
No, we did not.
Oh no, that's a violation. You're supposed to be posted that these meetings are being filmed.
He would have dressed appropriately if he was gonna be on TV.
I would've worn my tooth.
It's too late for that.
Hey, George, we all done?
So that must be important.
It can't be a no heat call.
Not yet.
It's not cold enough yet.
Guys are busy over at Superior.
We're busy too, putting a lot of tanks and a lot of people changing over. They don't like the way they're getting treated by the big company, AmeriGas and Company. Oh, they're brutal.
Well, they figure they got you, so what are you
They're brutal. And then, of course, they have some bulk accounts.
Yep.
They tell them, they says, oh, truck will get there when they get there. I got 10% of my tank, what do? I gotta run tonight. Tough.
No, that doesn't work.
But we've been putting a lot of changeovers,
I got a CO problem,
6-8 months.
10-2.
Okay.
Those go back to Mr. Chairman.
You gonna bring one of these with you, Judge?
I kept one.
Did I grab it? You got one?
I kept one.
Like that.
How many you got?
3.
Put those all together. On the 20th, we'll be having the public hearing for the town meeting articles.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both citizens petition articles, yeah. One for street acceptance, one for.
Gas station?
One for street acceptance, hopefully you'll have your paperwork back from Charlie. And the other one is the slight modification of the bylaw about gas stations.
Mhm.
So is that gonna open up all new gas stations available, or just that one site?
It just opens up within so many feet of a interchange highway.
Actually, I
Isn't
think
there
the
snow zone?
bylaw,
Spots on it?
It's close to spots on the road.
it just allows it in general commercial within
Yeah.
1,500 feet of a
It only,
major highway.
it only picks one of the zones. Right now, every one of the zones, this gas station's not allowed, the way it's written.
Is there a new gas station that's going in?
There's a new gas station that's asking to move over, what Mr. Chris is, he wants to sell.
And put a gas station there?
And this company that's already got a couple in the area wants to put another one of those gas stations.
What about
convenience
the
stores.
selectmen's policy a few years back about no more underground tanks?
I don't think that policy exists, John.
Oh, it doesn't?
Filling station is not allowed in any district,
Okay,
so.
but I know, just by Emery, sitting at a table one evening, that there was something brought up that there'd be no more underground tanks.
I think the zoning bylaw covered it, because I just went over every one of the selectmen's policies in the last 6 months, updating, changing. That was never there.
And that was never in there, huh?
Doesn't mean it wasn't, you guys didn't do it, it was never recorded.
Sure, that's probably common law. Because it was, because I voted on it.
I'm sure you did.
So, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that
Well,
tidbit in for
Well,
you.
no underground tanks would kind of leave people in the lurch as far as replacing existing, so.
No new underground tanks, so.
Okay.
Of any nature, John, or just
For filling stations.
just liquid fuel?
For
Yeah.
gas stations, so if someone comes in, and you know what, I believe the one it was, and I think they went away with it, it could be mistaken. There were several, but it was like a Cumberland Farms that's down across from, down near, the fan club,
Depot Street.
Depot Street. He
Yeah.
wanted to put a gas station in.
Right.
And it didn't go, it went through zoning and all, and it was defeated and it went away. And it came up, then I was a selectman after that, and I heard one of the women came up with, we shouldn't have any more new gas stations, new underground tanks. And I went along with it at the time, but it was for new, it wasn't for someone that was going to
Renovate.
take their tanks out, replace them because they were 20 years old and stay there. It's for, just as what you're mentioning now, Alan, that somebody wants to sell this business and put in a gas station, we're adding fuel tanks. That was the intent of it at the time. But if it doesn't exist, I mean, there was a vote taken, I know there was, because I voted on it, but where it went is beyond me at this time.
Well,
You could have ended up with a town meeting with that particular modification of the zoning bylaw to make it basically not available in any one of the zones.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember the
Because right now, you'd have to go through the ZBA, and you'd have to have, show a hardship, which they tried, which they were denied. So they came back with an article for town meeting.
So that's what he's trying to do over there, is put a gas station.
Gas station, convenience store.
5 pumps, just
Yeah,
like
that's
New
too-
England Farms with different
That's too
brand.
many. 5 is too many.
Now, the thing is, remember I made comment about traffic on that road? Sometime I go the highway to work, sometime I go 28. I've been going 28 because I like to watch them work over by Walmart. 3 out of the 5 days, there's been tractor trailers parked on 28, on either side of the road, in front of Moss's or the other side. Should I take a picture?
They're not supposed to be there.
You know, because that's
Well,
one,
that was my point when they were
And this
here
one-
about making a full layout improvement of the road, even if it's only one property.
right,
If every property does it as they develop, and
because the big thing was, when McDonald's wanted to go in there where the mobile station is, the gripe that we had for safety was McDonald's was only allowed 1 curb cut. That's what the state was gonna give them. And they said they was gonna allow trailers in there or camper trailers. And my point was, the guy that's been driving for 3 hours with kids, they see a McDonald's sign jumping up and down, all of a sudden, he's not allowed any. What he's gonna do? He's gonna park right in the street. That's what the trucks do, because that place is packed in the morning.
Yeah.
Whether they're making deliveries, they're getting coffee or whatever, they park on either side of the road. And it's wider there than it is at Mr. Chris's. And they're not gonna stop doing it. They do it in West Wyoming Cumberland Farms. They posted it, they stopped the trucks from doing it, and they still do it.
I think 5 islands on that new proposed gas station is too many.
7-Eleven, they're not supposed to park on the site. They park behind the station and everything else. They tried putting diesel in there.
Little back road.
Well,
He's in trouble
he
now.
was in front of, did he put the diesel in?
Well, he tried to. He got
tried to
denied 3 times.
He went to zoning.
Right.
Then when I first came on with you, Mr. Chairman, he came into planning one night, that 7-Eleven way down near the
Yeah.
courthouse.
Mhm.
And it was a simple thing. I said, you'd have the room if you bought the house next to you. He
Nope.
wouldn't do it.
They're good neighbors.
Well,
Jimmy said he killed every bird that went to his house. He don't see any birds anymore because the trucks are parked there. You know what the manager said? Well, we can't control where they park. They park there, they park on the highway. But on a Moss property in Rochester, there's a Shell station going in with diesel. So they're gonna put a hurting on 7-Eleven.
Right.
well, you know,
It's the same- it's the
like I
same
said
guy.
to Jim the other day, it's
Yeah,
time
it's
for
the
the
Shell-
right.
it's the Shell guy.
Yes.
Same guy.
Yep.
Yeah, from Rhode Island.
That's what, I mean, I had that guy twice was gonna sell and they wouldn't talk. Buy it, you'll drive through with your trucks for your fuel and,
Yeah.
no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, well, deny. I listened to that guy, he didn't come back for 2 years, he came back again on zoning, 2 years later, tried it again, didn't get anywhere. The
Yeah.
owner sat right there and he says, hey, talk to me.
Well, last time we talked about a change in that zoning area, the West Wareham group was adamant against changing it, so.
Yeah, to the West Wareham report. No drivers, et cetera.
What was it, the West Wareham Strategic Planning Committee?
Yeah, Claire was in that stuff. I've got it sitting in my car.
Mackie
The
Finney.
actual report.
But there was no, I believe that the filling stations, that was part of that at the time, Alan, was it not? They didn't want that.
Yeah, they
So-
still,
So see, and after that fact, George, is when we had that one night at the selectmen's meeting. It's okay, no one would run that.
I mean, they did give us a nice site plan and a nice, seemed like a nice company to deal with, but it didn't overcome the traffic issues of that, where the road pinches down.
Is that New England Farms, they're moving over?
No, it
this
was,
is another company
Seasons.
out of Rhode Island.
They use,
Shell.
Shell gas and Mary Lou's coffee.
yeah.
Everything changed.
So they said there were 20 gas stations when they passed that. Is there still,
16 now.
right now?
Is the one downtown
But there
considered
was
closed?
nothing in the bylaw, when it was passed, it went back to pull the
Pumps are
article.
still there.
There was nothing about a 20 gas station limit, which is what we thought there was. They just
I
went
think
ahead
until
and
you
just
take the
made it
pumps out, it must stay.
that you could not, basically, there was no zoning allowed for gas stations.
So they can go 2,000 feet in either direction of the highway, is that?
1,500,
Mhm.
and I believe, I think, this morning, the question is whether or not that station that they're planning is 1,500 feet, actually.
Sounds a little like spot zoning. If you take everybody out, the only left is Mr. Chris.
That's what I was saying, and the thing is, you sat on the planning board elsewhere, and plus being an attorney. Now, this has to go before the attorney general if it passed.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
it's
that's
spot
a
zoning,
gray
I don't care
area.
how you wanna call it, in real world. We
But
did
it's
spot
not a bad
zoning.
use. It's not a bad use for that
But
property,
it's
so.
specialized use.
Right, but I think having gas stations near a highway is a good thing.
I
It's
just
not
think-
necessarily where people are gonna wanna reside
I
and,
just hope they measured properly.
uh-huh,
His tree stands are on town property.
You try to take a look, you're gonna wear.
You know where the tree line is?
all place.
He stuffs them all in the woods, he's been doing it for years, that's all town property.
Yeah.
So Nuxie have petitioned the town to sell them a portion of property because you don't have enough room. No,
Well, I
What are
think,
you referring to now?
Mr. Chris,
What's
I
it, an
think-
acre? Is it an acre he's got there?
just about.
just about.
The problem that I saw was, they wanna put 5 islands in. If they only put 4 in, like across the street at New England Farms, so they'll serve 8 cars at a time, and they'll probably leave themselves enough room for those trucks to get in and get out of the way. If they put the 5 islands in, it spreads it out so much,
It's too tight.
it's tight, a truck can't get in and without stopping all the other traffic.
Gotcha.
So,
There was comment about the radius getting in there.
right,
Cumberland Farms in Middleborough, down by Bridge Street, is building across the street with a car dealership, is that little one? That's a 5 pumper,
5 is too many.
and that thing is huge, I mean, they got a big plot of land.
How big is the new one on 58?
Oh, that's tiny,
What, the new
that's
New England
congested.
Farm?
New England Farms?
He's 4 or 5. He's 4 plus diesel,
Yeah,
Diesel's
diesel's on
separate.
the side.
cause I get,
4 in a row.
I've been there for diesel, so
Oh, that's good size for.
that's plenty. 4 islands is plenty.
Well, would you please?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I don't think we should leave, I'm just getting in the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Bob.
You can stay and chat, but I gotta run on.